Hey everyone, this is Cyber here, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be starting off our little series of Dragon Ball Advanced Rush. This will be about the storyline of my Xenoverse 2 mod project, Project Speed. And throughout this, we're going to be going through everything that goes throughout the story. And of course, with Chapter 1, we're going to be starting off with the arc. So let's get right into this, and I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go! Years ago, on the planet Earth, there was a hero, a kid, named Son Goku. But this isn't what the story's about. This was around the time when Goku fought Demon King Piccolo. And all the way up in space, there was a scientist named Gerald Robotnik, and also his sick granddaughter, Maria. They were both on the space colony arc together, until, one day, a devil came to offer something for something else. This thing was going to protect Maria, keep her safe, and help her with her sickness. That thing was Shadow. But in here, he wasn't a hedgehog. Here, the devil gave genes to Gerald Robotnik that were just like his, but as a Saiyan, creating the ultimate life form, known as Shadow, the Bio Saiyan. Though he aged pretty fast. Within 1 year, he aged up by 3. Maria ended up naming him Shadow, which was a very interesting choice. But hey, it works out in the end. And now Maria also knows that there's a new member to her family, and she's happy for that. Maria took care of Shadow on the arc, because, well, he was a little baby at the time, not knowing that around the age of 20, Shadow would stay the same age forever. But here, they still grew up as siblings. They had the best times together, even some of Maria's best times in her entire life. Though during this time, Gerald just felt guilt, knowing that he made a deal with the devil. Though all he could think about was just making sure Maria will always be safe. And that, she was. Though within a certain amount of time, the president of a country with the highest military force, GUN, calls out to Gerald Robotnik to give them Shadow. But he refused, meaning that GUN would be attacking the space colony arc within a year. While on the arc, Shadow grew older, and within the time of a year, Shadow grew up to be 3 years old, and he was still just a little kid. Shadow got to learn stuff thanks to Maria, like learning how to read, write, and they even watched a lot of movies together. Shadow didn't understand where he came from, but one day when they were watching a movie, he saw an alien on it that a lot of people were scared of. He oddly felt a connection to it, but not exactly because he didn't know what he was, truly. While on Earth, Goku has gotten stronger while being on the lookout. But on the arc, Shadow's just being a kid, and Maria too. Within an amount of time though, Maria got more sick, where she could barely walk at times, and always kept Shadow worried because he never knew if she would be able to get up again. Though after a few weeks, she got back up, stronger than ever, though it was very unknown how, until Shadow saw some type of red bean. He never understood what it was, but he assumed it was something that healed her, but not exactly, because she was still sick. Months later, something happened. A gunship has flown up into space. Gerald doesn't know what this is about, but he assumes it's a checkup. So Gerald assigned some of the workers to let them in, but little did he know, it was gonna be a very tragic day for everyone. A 6-year-old Shadow had no idea what was going on, neither did Maria, but then they heard a gunshot. A few, actually. Maria kind of knew what the sound was like, until Gerald ran in, and told them they had to go, now. He splits off to keep the gun soldiers busy, but what was going on was a massacre. Maria was holding Shadow's hand, trying to get them to the space pods. That way, they can escape, but she was chased. She was spotted with Shadow, and gun soldiers were chasing them. And at that moment, Gerald was captured by GUN. He didn't give any answers, but they have an idea what Shadow is. Gerald was knocked out, and Maria and Shadow are still running down the hall. And then they get to the room that they need to be. And only one person can activate it at a time, so she made sure Shadow got out there first. But that was until Maria told Shadow everything's gonna be okay, but she covered up the blood wound that she had from the shot. She went to the control panel and made sure to hit it in time, before her time was up. And then she fell. Then the gun soldier realizes what he's done, and he panics. But Shadow just lost his sister. Then the pod fills up with the liquid that keeps Shadow asleep. And that day, one of the most traumatizing events for Shadow's life. Just at 6 years old, his life crumbled down in front of him for good. Weeks later, a search for the pod for Shadow was going out, and they were trying to find him. And they surprisingly did.
Mr. President, I think we found him.
Good, bring him in. Gerald will be happy about this.
In Gerald's prison cell, he sees Shadow being carried out. He screams in despair, seeing that they have Shadow now. That was when the president came in and told Gerald that Maria was dead. This was the first time Gerald heard the news, which sent him into an instant despair state. Now Shadow is being held, where only a few will know where he is. He will progressively age, but he'll be asleep. And as far as we know, and as far as I can say, that's where Shadow's story truly begins. Though Gerald, he was set for execution. Though he requested that he makes a recording that gets sent straight to the Space Colony Ark's data.
This is a death sentence for every human being on Earth. If my calculations are correct, the Space Colony Ark will impact the Earth in 27 minutes and 53 seconds. All of you will be destroyed, along with your beloved planet Earth. This is a death sentence for every human being on Earth. The colony was closed down, probably to keep the prototype from falling into the wrong hands. The Ark was shut down under the premise that there had been an accident. I found Maria's name among those who died when the Ark was shut down. She meant everything to me, and I couldn't bear the thought that she died because of my research. I lost everything. I had nothing more to live for. I went insane. All I could think about was to avenge her. Somehow, some way. I got scared as I no longer was able to control my thoughts. All I could think about was that I wanted it all to end. Based on my original projections, I was able to complete my project, Shadow. I designed its mind to be perfect, pure. I will leave everything to him. If you wish, release and awaken it to the world. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair. I plan to give you a taste of my revenge once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. Once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
And before the video cut off, the bullets fire, meaning Gerald is gone. Many years later, in a kingdom, peaceful at that, a special kind of Saiyan is born. A Saiyan that's from a different kind of planet, though they all located here, and the queen of this kingdom gives birth to Sonic, the hero the world will look up to. Hey, I just want to thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video, as this is only the beginning of the Dragon Ball Advance Express storyline, and I do have a lot more planned, and I hope you guys can't wait for the next part, which the first arc is going to cover the events of Sonic Adventure, and a little bit of Sonic 1, 2, and 3 a little bit, but you guys will understand. And I hope you guys enjoyed that entire chapter, and I'm sorry for the whole despair thing and the whole speech with it too, because it is pretty important to the storyline. But yeah, that's really it for this video. And by the way, before you go, I actually have something special you guys might want to see. Here is the official design for Silver in Project Speed. Now, if you guys don't know, Silver is my favorite character, and I just want to make sure he has all the proper stuff he needs. And only recently, I just made the actual proper design he gets in Project Speed. So yeah, I don't have much to say, but hey, make sure to join the City Discord server. You guys can actually ask questions about Advanced Rush there. And you guys can interact with me and the rest of the server. We're also doing a lot of watch parties too. Like, we're going to be watching Sonic X next week in Japanese. But yeah, if you guys want to join it, join it. If you don't, yeah. Anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe though. This is a Cyber, signing off.